Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Let me see. Let me get my chat pulled up on my phone. I hate that StreamYard's chat. Sure, I got the volume down. Gosh, there's quite a delay. Hey, Verbal, Kathy, Lisa, Leather and Lace, Juju Positive, Beach Bum. Did I say Debbie? Debbie, Misty Walker, Kira, Light Feather, Sapphire, Never Lose Hope, Vicky, Verbal. Good morning, everyone. I'm a little bit manic, so my short-term memory is like really bad this morning, so I'm just going to warn y'all. I don't even remember who I just said hi to. No joke. A couple of y'all I remember. That's what happens when I get manic. Anyways, this morning I had to make some last-minute changes to my topics because I found out they found that missing mom-to-be, Cassandra Cantrell. They found her body and they've arrested her ex. I suspected he was involved. I mean, they hadn't been in a relationship in a long time. I think since like 2006. He had been in a relationship for the last 14 years, but he must have cheated on his partner and got Cassandra pregnant. And he didn't want to mess up his relationship. So he killed Cassandra. I'm going to pull up everything. Thanks, Lisa. Hey, Red Rhyme. Hey, Michelle. You'll Never Lose Hope sent me an article about it. I about missed it. I didn't know that they had found her. Cement Shoes, Melissa. Yeah, it's so sad. I knew he was involved, guys. I just knew it. Let me see. Let me screen share here. I was already in a crappy mood because of that son of a bitch, Jeff Lowe. I shouldn't call him that, but that's exactly what he is, the way he treats animals. Piece of shit. I'm not in the best mood this morning. We're going to listen to this. Let me unplug my mic so it don't echo. I got to remember it mutes me.
I'm just going to wail my ass.
Stupid ads got to play first.
Cassandra Cantrell disappeared, and with today's discovery of her body, Pierce County Sheriff's detectives were quick to arrest an old boyfriend of hers.
And it appears he was on investigators' radar from the very beginning. Olivia LaVoice has the exclusive information you'll only see here on Q13.
Can y'all hear that?
38-year-old Colin Dudley was on investigators' radar from day one, according to these search warrants. Though Dudley and Cassandra Cantrell reportedly hadn't dated since 2006, and Dudley said he'd been with another woman for the last 14 years.
I'm saving money because I'm going to visit family in Tennessee and New York soon.
Detectives learned Cassandra had confided in those close to her that Dudley was the father of her unborn baby. Cassandra's loved one said she was over the moon about her pregnancy. She'd already picked out names, purchased baby clothes and toys, and she and her best friend had begun planning a baby shower. But when it came to the father of the child, her best friend told detectives Cassandra initially was hesitant to tell him because he reportedly didn't want children and made a comment that stuck with her when they dated over a decade ago, stating if any girlfriend of his got pregnant and wouldn't get an abortion, he would sue to get full custody just to spite the mother for having the child. This information piqued their interest, but the first break in the case came 5 days after Cassandra disappeared, when Tacoma police discovered her white Mazda parked near the Tacoma Dome train station with the keys inside. Armed with that evidence and the information about Cassandra's pregnancy, detectives went to Dudley. But Dudley was adamant he hadn't seen or spoken to Cassandra in years and seemed shocked anyone would think otherwise. He told investigators his current relationship was his priority and he wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that. But detectives already had the phone records that proved his claims of a non-existent relationship with Cassandra wasn't true. They had a hunch this was just the beginning of a tangled web of lies, with warrants stating, quote, his behavior was extremely suspicious based on the circumstances. When they confronted Dudley with this and their suspicions he did something to Cassandra, Dudley denied it and then stopped answering all questions. From there, it was the technology that did all the talking and helped form a chilling timeline for August 25th, the day Cassandra was last seen alive. Dudley told detectives he started off that morning at Costco before returning home to do some spring cleaning, which already made detectives suspicious. But it was his next confirmed movements that was a huge piece of the puzzle. Just after 8 a.m., surveillance video showed Dudley's truck pull into this parking garage at the Tacoma Dome train station. Warrants say he parked, took a bike out of the car, and rode off. 4 hours later, video showed Cassandra's white Mazda parked near the train station, being driven by a man wearing latex gloves. Docs say he fit Dudley's description. The man is seen walking towards the parking garage. Not long after, Dudley's truck pulls out of the garage and drives away. It's a particularly significant piece of evidence, as detectives know that Cassandra was still alive when Dudley's truck was captured being parked in the garage around 8 a.m. A neighbor's security footage captured Cassandra's car leaving her Parkland neighborhood around 8:30 a.m. And records showed Dudley sent her a text just before 9 a.m. From there, phone data placed Cassandra and Dudley's phones at his Tacoma home. About an hour and a half after she appeared to arrive, according to phone records, Dudley places a call to his security company, ADT. Detectives note shortly after, he texts his wife about the power being temporarily out and says, don't freak out if the ADT cams are down. An hour later, Dudley's phone shuts off, but Cassandra's doesn't. The data shows it leaves Dudley's home and travels to the train station where at the same time, her car is dropped off. And when Dudley's truck is captured leaving the train station not long after, records show Cassandra's phone travels with it. Its final ping is at 12:45 in an area consistent with Owen Beach, where divers would later find it buried in sea kelp on the ocean floor. About 45 minutes after investigators believe Cassandra's phone was thrown in the Puget Sound, Dudley's phone turns back on and places him back at his residence. He checks his wife at 2:30 p.m., seemingly about the security cameras being back on, before then texting his employer asking about sealant, a substance used for sealing and filling gaps and cracks. He tells his boss he's doing work in his basement. 1 week later, FBI forensic techs would search his home, detecting blood in various areas of the basement. Blood was also found in his truck. Though Dudley didn't share much with investigators, it stood out when he told them he spent the day Cassandra went missing doing, quote, spring cleaning. And the day after, he said he used his employer's dumpster to drop off, quote, a bunch of trash. And while detectives believe Dudley deleted items off his phone before they could get to it, they found Cassandra's phone number was in there under the name Velma. The name Velma instantly made detectives think of an image they'd found on Dudley's phone that shows a woman in an orange turtleneck covering her face. Phone data shows the photo was taken in 2018 at Dudley's residence. It all came together for investigators when detectives got this image of Cassandra from her family, showing her dressed as Velma from Scooby-Doo, wearing that same orange turtleneck. Furthermore, Cassandra's phone records show she and Dudley were in touch several times a month for the last year.
Wow.
Detectives say that he told them he hadn't seen her in 10 years. They used GPS information from his truck to help locate her body. Detectives say it was discarded about 100 feet down a wooded cliff, just thrown away like trash. He's in jail on a murder charge tonight.
Piece of shit.
He'll be in court tomorrow.
So this was what, 13 hours ago? Probably put up last night. So he's due in court today. What a piece of crap. They probably reunited through social media. I'm not muted, am I? No. And they must have had hookups once or twice a month. And it said his wife So he's married. It said he called or texted his wife about the security cameras, so he must be married. Let me get my mic plugged back in. I always have problems plugging this in. There we go. It's so sad, but I had a feeling this is what happened to her. I had a bad feeling he'd done something to her. He was so smart to have the security cameras not on, turn his phone off, but the dummy left hers on. What a freaking idiot. World's dumbest criminal. He deserves the death penalty. I saw some people come in. Beth F., Nika, Light Feather, Fateful Ones. Did I miss anyone else? I hate this StreamYard's chat. It don't want to go to the new comments. That's why I have to use my phone. Piece of crap. This put me in the worst mood. Hey, Remy. Very Mary. It's put me in the worst mood this morning. I was just thinking about Cassandra the other day. He probably called her, texted her, got her to come over. They were going to talk about her being pregnant. He probably wanted her to have an abortion. She wouldn't do it. Anyways, when she got there, he had planned it out to murder her and discard her like a piece of trash. He murdered his own child, his own unborn child. Some men, they would rather commit murder than pay child support or have their wife or girlfriend find out they've been messing around on them and got someone knocked up. He was trying to be smart, showed his stupidity. Yeah. Did I say good morning to Cheryl? Good morning, Cheryl. Southern Mom. Verbal says, this is why my kids learn responsibility for actions. People think they can get away with everything they do because their parents let them. Verbal, I agree. And that's what I say about my neighbor's kid. He is like the meanest little boy, but he's cute, you know? But he has no consequences for his actions. He's never punished. He just runs wild, does what he wants. You know, that's not good when you teach kids that, you know, they can do mean stuff and there's no consequences. Michelle, I had a feeling, CC, it's never good when a pregnant woman goes missing. I know. And her brother, she's got a twin brother. He commented on the first live stream I did about her when she first went missing. And, you know, he said she would have never just taken off. And he went on to say in the comment that the car was found not far from the ex's house and that he had a theory of what happened and he shared it with police. He didn't share in the comment what his theory was or anything. She loved animals. In the comment, he said that she never would have just left her dogs because when he got married, she wasn't going to come to the wedding if she couldn't take her dogs with her. So sad. And she was so excited about having a baby. I mean, why didn't he just sign his rights away if he didn't want to be a father? People that do things like that, they're evil. They got evil in them. They've always had it in them. There's a lot of men that have affairs and they get their mistress pregnant. And there's women that have affairs and get pregnant by the man they're messing around with, you know? But I was going to say, there's a lot of people that happens to and they don't commit murder. They have to fess up and take responsibility for their actions. You're right, CC. I've heard several men say when getting a divorce, they will not pay child support. Yeah. And he had made a comment, I guess, to Cassandra when they were dating that if anybody ever got pregnant by him, he would take custody from the woman just for spite. I've heard guys say that before. People will say stuff like that, pieces of crap. He's a piece of crap. Now, all of his lies have been exposed. He took the life of a beautiful young lady and his unborn child. Never understand it. Unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. I saw someone earlier say it kind of reminded them of Scott Peterson. Yeah, but this time, in this case, the mistress was pregnant instead of the wife. My dad never paid child support. Yeah, my dad didn't pay much child support either. I don't know. I don't understand people like that. Don't want to support their kids. People don't want to pay child support. They do it because they don't like their ex. They're trying to make it hard on their ex, but really they're just hurting the kid. Because child support's to take care of the kids, keep them in clothes and stuff they need, extra stuff they need. You know, men and women both should have to pay child support. You know, people like that are living garbage. They need bin bag. Yeah, pieces of crap don't deserve to be walking on this earth. It just blows my mind that he would rather kill Cassandra and the baby than to have his lies exposed. It's a psycho, narcissist, in my opinion. I mean, I can't diagnose people, but that's what I think. A couple $100 a month. Yeah, he'd rather kill his own unborn child and a woman that at one time he was in a relationship with. He had to have cared for. She cared for him. You know, but he'd rather kill them than, pay child support. A couple $100 a month. It does hurt the children not paying child support. You know, the cost of living is expensive. Items are expensive. You know, kids need good shoes to wear. Not cheap shoes. They need good shoes. That's important. Good clothes, food. Yeah, he killed his own blood. Got to pay something. I agree. To not, it's selfish and being a crappy dad. Yeah. Hey, Dixie Normus. Is it Dixie or Dix? I was saying Dixie. It's not Dixie. I think it's Dix Normus. Sorry about that. I was calling you Dixie. Hey, Alex V. Gosh, Harley's getting so big, Alex. I can't believe she's 6 months old. She's the happiest little baby. It's crazy what you find out when you grow up. My dad once told me he stayed with my mom for us. But I have to say, they are still together 20 years after I left home. Yeah, you know what? Some people will stay together because they just get comfortable and they don't like change. I'm one of those people that don't like change. I don't like when things change. I mean, that's just my personality, I just don't like change. I don't like new things. For instance, like I tried to stream on D Live one time and I just didn't like it, so I just had to stick with YouTube. Yeah, baby Harley, 6 months old today. I love that picture, Alex. She's trying to bite her toe. Her little short, fat legs. She's so cute. I have to say, everyone that comes into my chat seems like wonderful parents and wonderful people. I hate change myself. I know. We shouldn't hate change, though. That's just the way life is. Things change. I just don't like it. It's just my personality. My dad was the same. He moved around, living in beds, staying under radar to avoid child support. Well, they'll cuff and stuff you if you don't pay child support here in my state. If the woman or the man draws a TANF check from the social services government check, the other parent has to pay that back to the state. If they get behind on that, they cuff them and stuff them. And you don't get out of jail until you pay your child support. Or you work something out with the judge. That's the way it is. You wouldn't like the distance learning. That's a hard change. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Yes, prayers for Cassandra's family. I can't imagine what they're going through. I watched her mom give a couple interviews to reporters, and she was just devastated. So upset. I mean, it was hard for me to watch her because she was crying. You could feel the hurt coming from her. I could feel it. These cases get to me. They make me emotional. I watched a video about the tigers we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Jeff Lowe, the piece of crap animal abuser. We're going to talk about him. I watched a video this morning and I just started bawling. It's so sad what those animals endured. So sad what little kids endure. I don't know. There needs to be a change. Needs to be stiffer punishments for child abuse. And for these sex predators, they shouldn't be letting them out of jail. They let them out and then they go reoffend. Hey, Just Jax, good morning. Like Feather says, it was difficult on my mother. The best thing she ever did was never talk bad about my dad. My dad made really good money. He had a union job working in the coal mines. And he didn't want to give me any money. And my mom had a hard time. If it wasn't for my little brother's dad, I don't know what she would have done. He took care of me and my papa. I haven't talked to my dad in probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. Yeah, he just lives in next town over. I've got nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I had a horrible childhood. And, I really just don't want anything to do with either one of my parents. My mom, I have very little to do with her. Just for various reasons. But my childhood is why I like to come on here and try to advocate for children. Anyone that's vulnerable. And animals, of course. It's all right, Light Feather. I've gotten over it. It used to hurt my feelings. I don't care no more. Really, I don't. I mean, a little bit I do, but not very much. Honest. It's made me a better person. My dad made $135K a year. Bought me everything the 80s had to offer. Oh, I'm so glad Cement Shoes. Thank you, Shay Shay. No sense in taking it out on the child. No, absolutely not. I need to do well watching so I can dispose some of this waste. Yep, my kids are still living it. Yeah. Thank you, Cement Shoes. My childhood is all I have left. I'm glad you had a good childhood. That's good. I like hearing stories about people's childhoods because I didn't get to have a childhood. I think that's why I'm so kid-like now. Like, I'm all into Halloween and just all the kiddie stuff and the movies and all that. I like remembering when life was cool. I know, I miss the simpler times, don't you guys? Like back in the 90s when I was growing up and in the 80s. Life was cool back then. Okay, guys. Prayers for Cassandra's family. We're going to move on from that because I've got to talk about Jeff Lowe. Let's see. PETA rescued Nayla's siblings from the Tiger King hellhole, and the wildlife animal sanctuary in Colorado took them. But here's what happened. They were Tim Stark's lions. He was being sued. They were going to be took from him, but he snuck them to Joe Exotic. Never lose hope. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to pull up the thing so I don't get it wrong here. We're going to watch a tiger video too. Okay. Let me get it pulled up here. PETA is moving to end the notorious Tiger King roadside zoos' years of tormenting animals, and our latest cop with a big cat rescue mission. Today, from our help from our friends at the Wild Animal Sanctuary in Colorado, we confiscated 3 juvenile lions from an animal exploiter Jeff Lowe, the poser, now defunctional Greater Wynnewood Exotic Animal Park. We're going to watch a video here to show you how he treated these lions. This lioness, I believe it's female. She can barely walk. I need to get to the screen share here. Tim Stark, I know I've had people come in and say that they know him. I don't mean to offend anyone, but he's a piece of crap too. He abuses animals too and neglects them. Look at that poor thing. How skinny. Let me mute it. I'm going to mute it. Okay. I wanted to mute it so it wouldn't echo. It wasn't saying anything. You could see what shape these animals are in. What it was, these were Joe's animals. He got some of these tigers, like I said, from Tim Stark. Illegally. They were going to take them from Tim. And he snuck and gave them to Joe Exotic. Then, of course, Jeff Lowe ended up with them. And here's what that piece of crap did. Because they were Joe's animals, he didn't take care of them right. Hell, he don't even take care of his own right. But he made sure that Joe's, were mistreated, not fed properly. Like his, he fed his. Somewhat fed them. Let's see what else it says. Piece of crap. Okay. The 3 rescued lions will enjoy acres to roam and receive proper veterinary care. One of them is Nayla, who was so ill, lethargic, depressed, and thin in June that the U.S. Department of Agriculture halted an inspection and ordered Jeff Lowe to provide her immediate veterinary care. Afterward, the agent suspended his Federal Animal Welfare Act license and began proceedings to revoke it permanently. This morning, we found Nayla with severe lameness in one of her hind legs. Poor animals. Look at her ear rotting off. Okay, and it says today's rescue follows our Endangered Species Act, win against Lowe's former business partner, Tim Stark, who transferred the lines to Lowe in violation of court orders. A fourth line, Kahari, had been transferred from Stark to Lowe, but we recently learned that she died under suspicious circumstances, allegedly in August. We're now investigating her death. Now, a lot of people don't like PETA. I got mixed feelings about them, but I'm glad that they help rescue these lines and get this man shut down. He does not need to own exotic pets. Look at him. No wonder he wears a bandana and a hat. I'm not bald shaming, but I wouldn't want that thing on top of me, looking down at me. Ugh. Okay, so Nayla and her two siblings, Leo and Amelia, are the 23rd, 24th, and 25th big cats rescued by PETA in less than a week. On Friday, September 18th, with the help from the Wildlife Animal Sanctuary and the Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge, we moved 22 tigers, lions, and tiger lion hybrids from Tim Stark's now shuttered Indiana Roadside Zoo, Wildlife in Need. And they got a little video here. I don't have to play it. It just shows the cages empty at Tim Stark's zoo. I didn't think he was as bad as Jeff and Joe about animals, but he is. It says now the Wynn's cages are empty. We're turning up the heat on G.W. Park and Jeff Lowe, who, along with several of his associates, have been notified of our intent to sue. We aim to prove that Lowe and his associates have violated the ESA in numerous ways, including by prematurely separating big cat cubs from their mothers, forcing them to interact with members of the public, as well as denying ring-tailed lemurs, big cats, and a grizzly bear proper nutrition and species-appropriate enrichment. The bear and the big cats were also denied adequate veterinary care. With this lawsuit, we aim to stop Lowe from continuing to harm or harass protected animals, both at G.W. Park in Wynnewood, Oklahoma, and at a planned facility in Thackerville, Oklahoma. He ain't gonna have no facility. Look at that. Jeff Lowe, stop exploiting me. He's a piece of shit. He don't care about his own animals either. Those animals are just a way to make money. They make him feel like a big, powerful man, because really he's just a little bitty piece of crap. Gets me riled up. Says all you have to do to help animals trapped at shoddy places like GW Park is simply stay away from the tourist traps. Please never support abusive animal shows or exhibits. You can help take action. I wouldn't mind to donate to that wildlife sanctuary in Colorado. I'm going to play y'all a video and show y'all where the animals went. Hold on just a minute. Let me get out all this. Yeah, PETA's got some crazy people working for them. But I am glad that they are after Jeff. I know a lot of people don't like PETA. Joe Exotic claimed they snuck onto his property and poisoned his apes. If they did that, that's totally wrong. It's a horrible thing to do. That's not the way to help animals, by murdering them. No, that's what Joe claimed. Let me see. Let me find the article. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Jesus mercy. Here it is. Let me mute it just a sec. Let me let the ad play. Well, I'll show you where they're going. They got a big old place to roam around now. Like a couple acres. Okay. Let me pause it. Screen share. I need. Is it not? You're playing on my screen. Not. What happened to it? I don't see that playing. That's so weird.
Would come to the wild animal sanctuary.
Let me start this over.
So in November of 2017, we went to Oklahoma and brought back 19 tigers to our facility where we're at right now.
Not even playing right. Blinking. I don't know what's going on with it.
So as you saw in the Joe Exotic episodes, they're actually pulling tiger cubs as mom's giving birth away from the mom. There's that one scene in the third or fourth episode where they mention there's 14 tigers in this pen, and you see all of these tigers just kind of swirling around, waiting to get fed. We saw a lot of cages that were probably just, pure metal cages, about 12 feet by 12 feet, and that's the extent of their life. Well, the owners of that place didn't want to be inspected. They didn't want to have tigers that would show that they're not treating them right. So the owners began to disperse their tigers.
You talk about
and Joe Exotic came down a couple days before the mandated inspection and took 19 tigers back to his place in Oklahoma. He gave up those 19 tigers. And the agreement was those 19 tigers would come to the wild animal sanctuary. So in November of 2017, we went to Oklahoma and brought back 19 tigers to our facility where we're at right now. So he agreed to start giving up some of his tigers, and he initially agreed to giving up 20 more tigers, which we went down and got in December of 2017. So that brings us up to 39 tigers that we got from Oklahoma. So now the 39 tigers we got from Joe, they live in habitats, once again, anywhere from about 5 to 20 acres, 10, 15 acres. They have ponds that they can go swimming in. They have trees, they have water features, they have hills and underground dens, above ground dens. They now live in social groups. They have acres of land besides, instead of square feet. They have an open sky above them. They don't have, metal bars around them. And they get well fed. You'll see some of them look a little well fed. Look past human drama to see the animals that are behind the scenes, because they're truly voiceless. They don't have a camera in front of them. They can't speak into a microphone or call their friend or anything. They can never go back in the wild. they depend on us for everything because we brought them into a captive situation, and they're absolutely, totally dependent on us. That's just, hopefully people remember that.
We are going to continue to advocate for those tigers. I've signed a petition to not to have all Jeff Lowe's animals took from him. He does not need those animals because he doesn't know how to take care of them right. And what we just watched is a real sanctuary, and like Carol Baskin. I got it plugged back up here. Let's see, is it working? Yeah. Now, let me look at the chat. I've seen a couple comments that cracked me up. See, Mitchie's Melissa almost threw up in her mouth when you mentioned Jeff Lowe on the top. Never lose hope. CC, you cracked me up. Can't imagine being on the bottom. Hey, can you imagine being laying there, having that thing looking down at you? Ugh. Wonder if he keeps his bandana and hat on while he's having sex. And Lauren is married to that thing. I can't stand that little redheaded brat. She's just as bad as Jeff Lowe is. Kira says, I'm happy they get to live out in the natural habitat. I know. That's what a real sanctuary is. Did you hear them talking about? They have dens on top of the ground, under the ground. They can go into ponds. They don't got to stick their head through a cage to eat like they do at Carol Baskin's. Now, did y'all watch Dancing with the Stars last night? I didn't watch everything. I watched a couple dances. Of course, I watched Carol. And I'm going to be honest. Here's my review on it. She did a lot better than she did last week. And she actually showed some emotion. You know, before the dance, they do like the little intro, show behind the scenes when they're practicing, doing all this and that. Okay, so her dance partner, you know, asked her some questions about, you know, dancing in the media and all that. And she starts crying. She said it's been hard on her and her daughter, Jamie. Jamie don't even look at the news because, you know, her mom's always in the headlines. Dawn's disappearance is always in the headlines. But she cried. She got emotional and cried. I could not believe it. I've never seen the vulnerable side of Carol Baskin. I felt bad for her. I'm not going to lie. I thought to myself, that would be hard. Everybody in the world thinking that you killed your husband, accusing you of it, getting death threats. I'd say it is hard on her. But I'm still think she knows what happened to Dawn. But I did feel bad. Lisa, she's so fake. And they saved her at last. She said she's used to being at the bottom, Lisa. She always starts at the bottom and works her way up. Now, I thought she did better than last week, but they didn't do much. They just moved around just like a little bit. It was to the song, What's Up, Pussycats? I should have known. I should have known. I mean, are they going to do cat theme for every dance? Carol Baskin dances like a mummy from King Tut's too. Hey, Austin. He still can't believe that someone still has that kind of mullet. Joe describes himself as a mullet-wearing, gun-toting, gay redneck. That's how he describes himself. Now, I am going to be watching the little documentary they're doing on the ID channel. I think it comes on, I think it's Sunday night. It's going to be a 2-night special. I'd like to do like a Google Meet. We could all watch it if I could figure out how to stream it from my laptop. I just lost weight thinking about her. Don't forget, Cement she likes to get freaky in the hot tub. Like a lot, according to her ex. I'll give you something else to get sick over. Oh, it took a long time to get that image out of my head when I read that when it came out. I was traumatized there for a while. Is it called What's New, Pussycat? Yeah, that's what it's called. What's New, Pussycat? That was the song. Let's see. What's not playing? Never Lose Hope. Let's hope the tiger theme retort is very short. Yeah. Yeah, she needs to do something different. We all know that she loves big cats and little kitty cats. She got little kitty cats too. Regular cats, domesticated cats. We all know that. So let's see something different. There's got to be more to her than just loving big cats, you know? Melissa says she ain't no Ginger Rogers. I'll tell you someone that I am liking on Dancing with the Stars is, I think his name's Charles Oakley. Like, I just really like him. His last name's Oakley. I'm not sure about the first name, but yeah, I really like him. He's such a freaking sweetheart and so handsome. Like, he's a big old guy. It's working now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on with StreamYards. It's not been working right for anybody. Let's see. Okay, my volume up. I don't know what's wrong with it. What's up, Pussycat? I thought that's what the name of the song was. What's up, Pussycat? Hell, I don't know. I love where those tigers are now. That's where they all should be. I know. Tigers should not be in those roadside zoos. None of those animals. Those bears. The bear that they were talking about, I saw a picture of it, and it looked like it was just eating scraps. It barely had anything to eat. It was in a small, steel cage. That's no way for an animal to live. Think about those poor animals, like those bears and the big apes, different types, that live in those small enclosures from the time they're little till they die. It's freaking not right. They should put a stop to owning exotic pets like that, like the tigers, lions. And I don't like how they make the hybrids. The likers, the lion and tiger mix, that's not natural. It's possible that could happen in the wild, but very unlikely. There was an incident where a polar bear and a grizzly bear mated. And the only reason anyone found out about it is because this guy was bear hunting in Canada. Grizzly bear hunting. He shot a grizzly bear. But when he got up close to it, it looked like it was a polar bear mixed. Anyways, they charged him for shooting a polar bear. And he kept saying, no, it's a grizzly bear. I did not shoot a polar bear. Well, they did DNA on it, and it was a hybrid. It's unlikely that it would happen, but it can happen. I read there was a video on it, and I read an interesting article about that hybrid bear. What kind of mug did you get? Nobody would leave $5 million to someone they despise at the end. Yeah. Is Tremaine in here? Hey, Tremaine. I don't see him. I just see someone saying his name. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hey, Tremaine. Hope you're not working too hard. I just can't get over that video that you shared of that fountain that's got the dolphins where you work. I love that. I love dolphins. Thank you for the super chat. I love CC and Lisa and Beach Bum and Light Feather. Aw, Tremaine, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You're the best. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about this morning? Oh, yeah. Let's move on from the Tiger King and Dancing with the Stars. They solved a cold case from 1974. They arrested a man. They solved the murder of Carla Walker. Let me pull up the article so I don't get it wrong. Her and her boyfriend, Carla was a teenager, like, I think 16, 17. Let me get it pulled up. They went to a Valentine's dance. They left the Valentine's, got in the car, and I think a man approached them, knocked the boyfriend out. When he came to, Carla was gone. They later found her body. But then, they, didn't have all the technology. They found DNA. But now they've linked that DNA to someone. I'm getting all bumfuzzled, so let me just pull it up. I want to show y'all her picture because she's really pretty. I actually know someone named Carla Walker. I swear. Let's see. Is it sharing it? Do it like. There we go. There she is. Look how pretty. DNA links suspected killer to 1974 random attack, rape and murder of teen girl kidnapped after Valentine's Day dance. Texas authorities arrested a 77-year-old man this week after a DNA analysis matched him to the 1974 death of a teen girl. Glenn Samuel McCurley was taken into custody on Tuesday for the abduction and murder of Carla Jan Walker, age 17. NBC DFW reports Carla had just attended a Valentine's Day dance in Fort Worth shortly before she vanished. According to investigators, the teen was held captive while she was sexually assaulted and killed and ultimately thrown in a culvert. Walker was snatched while sitting in the passenger seat of her boyfriend's car while at the bowling alley parking lot. According to Walker's boyfriend, Rodney McCoy, an unknown man approached the car and pointed a gun at him. Within minutes, something hit McCoy in the head and knocked him out. When McCoy woke up, he felt blood coming from his head and flowing into his eye. He also had a large cut under his eye. Carla was gone. Police found Carla's body 3 days later near Benbrook Lake after investigations detectives determined Walker had been tortured while kept alive for days before the suspect killed her. She was also injected with morphine. DNA from Carla's clothing was sent to a private Texas lab that uncovers DNA and genetic evidence through DNA rootless hair and decade-old bones. The DNA profile of a suspect was then established, which matched the 3 brothers with the last name of McCurley. During the initial investigation in 1974, one of the brothers, Glenn Samuel McCurley, was a person of interest after police found out he owned a .22 Ruger. The magazine found at the crime scene matched the gun, At the time, there wasn't enough evidence for an arrest, and McCurley claimed the gun had been stolen from him while fishing at a river. There he is. I mean, no offense, but like he's older than the hills now. Over 40 years later, detectives decided to collect trash from McCurley's trash can in an attempt to get his DNA. After they found a match, they went to the suspect's home to interview him. McCurley invited the detectives inside and recited the same thing he told authorities in 1974. McCurley claimed he had been working the day Carla Walker was abducted as a long-distance truck driver. He said again that his gun had been stolen before Carla's abduction, and he had no idea what happened to her. He agreed to a DNA swap, which ultimately matched the DNA found on Carla Walker's bra. McCurley was arrested on capital murder charges. He remains behind bars at the Tarrant County Jail on a $100,000 bond. I'd like to see a picture of him with what he looked like in 1974. I'm just curious. I bet you he thought that they wouldn't find no DNA on her clothes because it had been so long. So he was like, hey, yeah, take my DNA. But then again, really, does he have a choice? If they come with a warrant for your DNA, you got to give it up. They had to hold Ted Bundy down to get his DNA. They came with a warrant. He didn't want to do it. I had read about this case before. I didn't think that they were going to solve it. 40 years. Thank God they saved her bra and stuff, a long time. 1974, I wasn't even born yet, guys. Uh-oh, guys. Carol Baskin's being sued. We'll look at the rest of the true crime in just a minute. All these crimes, who committed the crimes in the 70s and 80s, thought they got away with it, must be shitting their knickers now. I like that word, knickers. Yeah. They're crapping their bloomers. The old timers here in the mountains, they call panties or underwear bloomers. Crapping their bloomers. Hey, they've been solving them left and right. Couldn't tell you how many cold cases they've solved in the past year. At least 3 or 4 different ones I know of. There's an Amber Alert, too, for a 3-year-old kidnapped. We're going to have to take a look at that. I may have to take a potty break, guys, before we get to all that. I don't like to do that during my live stream, but I can't help it. I need to go to the loo. There's another one of my words. My new favorite words. Before I pee my knickers. Oh my gosh. Should have served her on live TV last night. Yeah, let's look at that before we do the Amber Alert. This just popped up. Her and them damn ball earrings. That looks so freaking stupid. It looks like some of my Christmas ornaments. Let me look at those. I've got 2 of those same balls. I could show them to y'all. I put on my Christmas tree. I got to get a new Christmas tree, speaking of that. Okay, Don Lewis family sues Tiger King Carol Baskin for defamation after jokes, comments about her missing husband. I didn't hear her say no comments about him. She just said that they wanted publicity and attention. The family of Don Lewis, who's been missing since 1997, filed a defamation lawsuit against former wife Carol Baskin after she made crude comments about him and did nothing to defend him against comments made by others. According to TMZ, court documents indicate that Baskin is accused not only of going along with sarcastic comments about Lewis while appearing on Dancing with the Stars, but also making an insensitive comment when she appeared on Good Morning America. I missed that. While on Good Morning America, Carol Baskin promised to really kill it next week, referring to her upcoming dance routine on Dancing with the Stars. Don's daughters, Donna, Gail, and Linda, along with his former assistant, Anne McQueen, filed the lawsuit against Baskin and accused her of being complicit after she failed to speak up when the Dancing with the Stars judges made reference to a crude TikTok video about Lewis. Oh, I missed that. The TikTok video, according to the New York Post, implied that Lewis was killed and fed to tigers, something that Baskin's nemesis, Joe Exotic, previously made reference to on the Netflix documentary. He made reference to it on his YouTube channel, too. If y'all have not watched Joe Exotic's videos about Carol that he posted on his YouTube channel, you should. They're freaking hilarious, but hey, that helped get him convicted, too. Baskin didn't quite kill the Paso Doble. Is it called Doble? But it was kind of sedated. Dancing with the Stars judge Bruno some other joked, while Baskin said nothing in defense. Okay, so Don vanished after he allegedly went to the Pilot Country Airport in Springfield, Florida on August 18, 1997, reportedly headed to his home in Costa Rica. Look, he had no plans of going to Costa Rica. Not that day. His vehicle was found at the airport. But he didn't take his airplanes anywhere. Okay. So police found his keys, briefcase, and luggage left behind in his white 1989 Dodge van parked at the airport. The Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister said there is no money trail and Lewis's 2 passports to Costa Rica were not flagged. His house manager there hadn't seen him in 6 months. His security guards that worked on the property hadn't seen him in 6 months. Some of the business associates he hadn't seen him in 6 months. We're not operating under the theory he went to Costa Rica. That's what the sheriff said. No, he never left the United States. He probably never left his own property, if the truth's known. So Don's not been seen or heard from since. He was declared legally dead in 2002. The majority of Don's estate was left to Carol Baskin. Yeah, his kids only got like 10%. According to the Lewis family lawyer, John Phillips, Baskin was sued before in 1997 by McQueen for defamation. The lawsuit was settled for $50,000. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. And McQueen has already sued Carol Baskin? Anne McQueen, she really cared for Don. Like, they were really close friends. And she's the one that called Carol and was like, hey, Don's missing. Where's your husband at? Oh, I've not seen him in a couple days. God, honey. I'd love to go to Costa Rica, just to be honest. He didn't go, though. He didn't go to Costa Rica. Something happened to Don. They should be suing her for all those YouTube videos. Maybe that's what they're talking about, too. All those YouTube videos that she has put up saying these mean things about Don. She basically said that he was a pervert. One video she said that he was forcing himself upon one of the workers. She makes out like he's crazy, like he was crazy, losing his mind. Tells these stories about him dumpster diving. Hey, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. Hey, AP. I watch videos on YouTube. People dumpster dive outside of like Bath and Body Works or PetSmart, stuff like that. They get some good stuff sometimes. I wouldn't do it, but I mean, to each their own. Prayers, AP. Let me give you a late slip. Put some prayers up for you. I hope you get out of the hospital soon, Annie. Never lose hope. I don't mess with Ouija boards. No, no, no. Oh, I have. I've been looking at Ouija boards online. I want one of the old ones. One of the old wooden ones. Hey, they're showing some cute scarves over there. Well, anyways, I guess, Carol, she doesn't have to hire an attorney. She's got Howie. Harold. He'll represent her. He's an attorney. He handles all her legal business. He's the one that built Big Cat Rescue up. It was not doing too good. And she met him, and, he handles all the business part of it. He knows how to wheel and deal, how to do big fundraisers and all this and that, how to speak. They have these big fundraising events, these big fancy ones where everyone dresses really nice, What do you call that? Black tie affair. And, he gives like the big speech. He does all that because Carol's not good with people. You got to think about that. She's not good with people at all because she don't have a personality. It seems like she feels really awkward talking to people. Even people she seems to like her dance partner. She just seems like she just feels really awkward. She's, I don't know. She don't know how to socialize good with people. Let's see. Amber Alert. 3-year-old kidnapped after someone stole a car at a convenience store. Oh, no. This is a developing story. Texas. What's going on in Texas? Texas authorities are searching for a 3-year-old girl reportedly kidnapped after someone stole a car at a Dallas area convenience store. Chastity Collins was sitting inside a white 2009 Lincoln 4-door MKZ sedan with Texas license plate JJT 5997 when someone got into the car and drove away. The incident happened at a 7-Eleven store off the 2400 block of West Ledbetter Drive a little before midnight on Tuesday. Police said the child's mother was inside the store when the car was taken. Chastity is described as a black female who weighs around 85 pounds and stands 3 feet tall. She has black hair and brown eyes and was last seen wearing gray tights, a short sleeve shirt, and no shoes. Anyone with information is urged to call 911 or the Dallas Police Department at 214-671-4268. Guys, this does not sound good. Most of the time when this happens, they let the kid go. They'll put the kid out somewhere. Or they'll find the car abandoned with the kid in it. This happened at midnight, and they have not found her. Let me go back up to her picture. Poor little Chastity. I bet she's scared to death. Please, guys, you cannot... I know people think, oh, it'll never happen to me. Oh, it'll never happen in my area. Please don't leave your kids in the car while you just run in to pay for gas. It is not safe to do it, not even for a second. Not even when you're looking out the window watching the car. Because someone can jump in, especially if it's running, and be gone before you can even get out the door. It's just not safe. Chatterbox. Fell asleep last night. Don't fall asleep tonight and come to the Google Meet. Oh, yeah, we're having a channel members Google Meet tonight. Cement Shoes, you and Melissa should come. It's got the option like to turn your the camera off. It's private. It's going to be at 9 p.m. tonight. I'm going to do that for all the subscribers one night. We're going to have a virtual meet and greet. I'll have my camera on. That's what we're going to do. I think it'll be fun. We need to start having some movie nights too, now that I know how to operate this Google Meet thing. I could screen share and we can watch movies. I don't have to worry about getting copyright strike. Anyhow, poor little Chastity. If y'all see any updates before me, let me know in the comment section. Get a hold of me. Keep following this. I'm about to forget one of my topics I picked out this morning. Right here. Little boy was beaten to death by guess who? Guess who done it? The mom's new boyfriend, as usual. I am so damn sick and tired of seeing this crap. When are people going to wake up? You cannot trust these people that you just meet with your kids. Hell, you can't even trust people you've known for a long time with your damn kids. I am sick of seeing this crap. When are they going to start charging the parents for having their kids around people like this? You can't just tell me stuff like this, just the person just snaps and beats the kid. No, they've been abusing the kids. Usually how it goes. Secretly abusing the little kids. This little boy's daddy, when he went for visitation, the biological dad, he noted he saw bruises on his son, but he didn't do nothing about it. He was going to, but it was too late. Sorry, I get all pissed off about this because I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of seeing these irresponsible parents trusting every Tom, Dick, and Harry around their little kids. People they don't even freaking know. And like I said, some people you can know for a long time, still can't trust them. It says new details emerged Monday during the arraignment of a Michigan man accused of killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old child. 27-year-old Matthew Ryan Macher was arraigned Monday morning in the, I don't know, Laonia County, maybe, on felony murder and first-degree child abuse charges. The arraignment is in connection to the death of 2-year-old Colton. Let me see if I can say his name. I looked it up this morning. Shespior, something like that, who passed away Friday. So this just happened. It says first responders arrived Friday morning to a home off of W. Fernie Street in Clarksville in response to a child who was not breathing and choking. Now, I reckon he was babysitting this kid, and he says the kid is eating food and gets choked. That's his story. Colton was taken to the hospital and in critical condition, but he passed away Friday at 1 p.m. It said, although authorities were told Colton started choking while eating breakfast, doctors found no evidence of choking and referred the case to the Kent County Medical Examiner's Office to determine an official cause of death. There that piece of shit is. So the medical examiner listed Colton's death as a homicide caused by cranial cerebral trauma. I think it says that. According to investigators, Matthew was detained the same day. The following day, he was charged with child abuse and murder. Prior to these charges, he had been in trouble for stalking and drug use. Let's see what else it says. There is a concern for methamphetamine use by the defendant. It's no excuse. A lot of people's got drug problems, meth problems. They don't beat to death children. But that meth combined with the mental illness, well, any drug combined with the mental illness, but especially speed, and that stuff causes people to stay up. Then they get delirious and hallucinate. I guess it could cause someone to go off their rockers, but it's no excuse in my mind. So, okay, so Colton's injuries were so severe, he had bruises all over his body, including on his face and neck. During an autopsy, the medical examiner found blood spots on the outside of the boy's skull. It says there was no logical reason for the number of bruises found on the boy's body, per the medical examiner. Okay. It says Butler pointed out that Matthew was the only person caring for the boy when the incident happened. Okay, the prosecutor emphasized that Matthew lied about Colton choking on his breakfast, as there was no food in the boy's airway. He admitted, he sobbed throughout the arraignment, admitted he was taking care of Colton at the time of the incident. I volunteered to stay home because school got canceled for Colton, he said. So he was denied bond. He went back to jail. So Colton's father, Daniel, told News 8 that he had noticed bruises on Colton during custody visits. He said he now wishes he would have done something about it sooner. So that right there tells me that this kid was being abused by this scumbag. This was just not something that happened one time, that he just snapped and just started beating the kid. He had been beating on this kid. Now, the dad noticed bruises on weekend visit. So the mother didn't notice bruises on her own child. She didn't want to know where the bruises came from. She continued to leave her kid around this monster. She had to have seen the bruises, and she continued to leave him. Can't tell me she didn't see bruises. The dad noticed the bruises. Why didn't he take action? Sick of this crap. Pisses me off too, Kira. I'm so sick of hearing about these stories about these parents leaving their kids around their boyfriends and girlfriends. And then the kid ends up murdered. You can't tell me she didn't know that he was abusing her little boy. If the dad noticed the bruises, that witch did. That's my opinion. I'm getting heated. I'm just so sick of it, guys. I'm so sick of these pieces of shit talking about them. Really. Hey, drama. I blame Dad just as much. That's what I'm saying, too. Yeah, he should have took action. I know it's easy for us to sit here and judge. But you're noticing bruises on your kid and you suspect someone's abusing your kid, you're supposed to take action. You just don't sit there and wait. What was he waiting for? Wait's what broke the wagon, as my granny says. Sounds like to me there's drug use on both parts. Sometimes you'll have cases where there's a couple and one of them gets on drugs and hides it from the other one. But most of the time, drug addicts hook up. They're just drawn to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can you just tap on the pic circle and take you there? I'm starting videos Monday. Nothing up there. Setting up. Can you still go there? And send the link. If not, yeah, you can go get your link and share it, Chatterbox. You can't just tap on the pictures. YouTube quit. It's true. It's getting really old. This woman was another idiot. Yeah, another idiot. I know, Austin. Hey, there's women that abuse kids too, Austin. I know there's good men in the world. You're a good guy, Austin. Verbal, Cement Shoes, Tremaine, Will, Mark that comes in here, Denning. These cases are why Dad said he stayed with my mom. He said he wasn't sure what kind of guy she was going to have around us. They were young parents, 19 by the time they had both me and my brother. Yeah. My mom I think she got pregnant with my brother. She's 15. Time she had him, she's 16. And then she was about 20 some when she had me. But the mom had to have known, guys. She just had to have known. If the dad noticed it on weekend visits, the mother noticed those bruises. Come on now. It pisses me off. I know she knew it. Something in me I don't have no proof of it, but it's just a feeling I have. Sometimes when I say stuff like that, people comment, well, you don't have any proof. Well, I don't have to have proof to speak my mind here. If I say I got a feeling about something, I'm going to say it. If I think I do, I'm going to say it. Another reason these kids need to go back to school, teachers help to keep eyes on these kids that get hurt at home. They need school as a safe place. Yes. I totally agree with that. Teachers are the ones that report most of the abuse. These teachers know the kids that are took care of and the kids that are not. They know it. You just go to your main channel and push the dots up there if you're on a phone chatterbox and push share. Don't get me wrong, my mom was a very good mom, but she did like to part more than my dad did. Yeah. People that abuse women, children, and animals need to be shot on the spot. Yeah. Say it, sister. Some of us know this stuff. Yeah. Sometimes you just know stuff. Like you just get gut feelings and you just know stuff. And when I get feelings like that, I share it with you. Some people don't like that, but that's just the way it is here. Okay. So I got to find our good story of the day and get off here because I got to go to the loo. That's my new word, y'all. The loo. Thanks to all my Aussie and UK friends. I like using new words. I'm childish, y'all. Do we got any mail carriers on the channel? Anyone that delivers packages or anything? Because that's what our story's about this morning. A dog and a UPS driver. Because you know how usually like dogs give the mail carriers hell. They're barking at them, trying to bite them. This is a different type of story. This is about a dog that loves the UPS driver. It's so cute. Let me get to the full story. Uh-oh, I hear Smokey in there crying. If I don't hurry, he'll pee in my house. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me mute. Let me talk to him a second. He's crying for me. He's wanting to go out. Can't keep my baby waiting too long. Okay. So it says there is a stereotype that all dogs hate mail carriers and other delivery people who bring packages to our doorsteps. For most of us who have dogs ourselves, we know that this isn't always accurate. The subject is very gray rather than black and white. My dog used to love our mailman that came around. She was always so excited to see him come around every morning at 10 a.m. on the dot. However, she wasn't that fond of the FedEx or UPS delivery guys. Perhaps because it was a different delivery driver each time. She didn't get a chance to know them. When they walked up to the house, she'd often bark at them very cautiously, approach them for a sniff. Once we told her she had nothing to fear. But our mailman, that was a very different story. She came charging to the front door with glee every time. And it's not unusual for different dogs to have all kinds of reactions to delivery drivers or mail carriers coming to their homes. But sometimes there are those that our dogs end up forming a friendship with. It could be routine that makes our dogs grow to expect and look forward to their appearances, or it could be something to do with food. Let me see, I can't operate this mouse pad. One dog owner, Jordan Wiseman, who managed to capture his dog's reaction to the UPS truck arriving at the house. Wiseman's dog is a big boxer. It is quite fond of the delivery driver whose route takes him by the Wiseman home. And after watching the video, it's pretty easy to deduce why this delivery driver is one of the boxer's favorite people. We're going to watch the video. Okay. I think I forgot to push share audio, so I got to rescreen share. I need to get in the habit of doing that. Okay. What a sweet story. Maybe that dog knows that guy from a past life, because I think that animals are reincarnated. You know, dogs, a lot of different types of animals, they feel love. Um, they show love. They feel sympathy, empathy. And I just don't think that they just die and that's it. And they're just gone. It just cannot be that way. I feel that they are reincarnated. I feel that when animals pass, it doesn't mean their journey's over. Their journey's just over on Earth. I really believe that with all my heart. Still thinking about you, Red Rum. I know your little puppy Lucy just died. Praying for you, hun. Her journey's not over. She'll be back. She'll be back. And y'all, please remember Mark Denning in your prayers. He just lost his brother. Keep praying for him. Praying for Karen and AP that comes in. No, not only dogs, different animals. I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't. Not just dogs, different types of animals. Any animal that's able to show love, emotion, even coyotes, animals like that, bears. I think we all are reincarnated too. I believe that. I'm from an older time period. I'm totally obsessed with like the 40s, 50s, even the 60s, just the older time period. You know, especially like the 40s and 50s. I think I come from that time period. I would be completely happy living back then without the internet or anything. I'd probably fit in better back in those days. But I think I come from that time period. Really. I used to have this reoccurring dream when I was little. I had it in my head that you was an adult. Then you was a kid. But anyways, I used to have this dream And I could see myself standing in this old barn. There was an old tractor in it, but I could only see me from behind. And I had long blonde hair, and I was in a white nightgown. And it's like I went out to the barn that night for something. And I used to have that dream all the time. Yeah. Old soul. Yeah, I got an old soul. Yeah, I believe in reincarnation. Animals, animals reincarnate. I'm not sure about reptiles, but like other mammals, yeah, I believe they reincarnate. Dogs go to heaven, they sure do. Yeah, they gotta cross over the rainbow bridge. According to Indian legend, when you pass away, every animal that you've ever encountered in your life will meet you on the rainbow bridge, and they will decide if you cross over or not. So you better be good to animals. It's true legend. Maybe I shouldn't have said Indian legend, Native American legend. But anyways, I didn't mean to offend anybody if I did saying that. Anyways, y'all have a great day. Channel members, I'll see y'all tonight at 9 p.m. I got the Google Meet link already up in a community post for channel members. But I'll give y'all a reminder this evening. I'll make another post. Anyway, see you at 9 p.m. Have a great day. Be safe, be kind, and peace.